Unit 2, Lesson 1. It says, I can learn all about the characters as I read. So far we've learned so many reading tools, friends, including Stop, Think, and Retell, where we read a few pages and then we're able to stop, think about what we read, and then retell the story based on the setting, the characters, and then what happened in the beginning, middle, and end. We also learned about Stop and Jot, where we stop and write down a few notes that we have about the book. It may be about connections that we have made or things we think about the characters. We've learned how to notice, stop, and think, where we try to find the big feeling that the author wants us to feel. And so today, we're going to use all of our strategies to help us learn more about our characters. So super second grade readers know that characters are the most important part of a story, so they stop and notice all the details about the characters. Let's practice with Katie Woo Has the Flu. As we reread this story, I want you to think about the characteristics of Katie Woo and the rest of the characters. What are the things we learn about them based on what happens in the story? Let's get started. Chapter 1. Achoo! Achoo, said Katie Woo. Bless you, said her mom. Achoo! Katie sneezed again and again and again. I feel funny, said Katie, but not in a funny way. My tummy hurts too. Uh-oh, said her mom. I think you have a bug. Ugh, said Katie. I don't want bugs running around in my tummy. Not that kind of bug, said her mom. A flu bug. Good, said Katie, but I still feel bad. I feel hot too, Katie moaned. Her mom took her temperature. You have a fever, she said. That's why you feel so hot. No school today. You are going back to bed. I feel so hot I might melt, Katie moaned. Don't worry, her mom assured her. You're not ice cream. You won't melt. I'm so glad, said Katie. So I want to stop, think, and write down all the details we notice about Katie Woo. Here are some of the things Miss Anissa thought. I noticed that Katie is a good listener because she does what her mom tells her to do. Her mom told her to go back to bed and not go to school, and Katie did it. So that makes Katie a good listener. I also noticed that Katie is kind of silly because she makes 2 jokes about being sick. Let's continue reading chapter 2 and see what characteristics or details we can find about the characters. Chapter 2, Sick at Home. Soon, Katie began to shiver. How can I feel cold and hot at the same time, she wondered. The flu is tricky, said her mom. That's a sneaky trick, said Katie. Katie's mom gave her pills to take. Yuck, Katie groaned. Pills are such pills. Katie fell asleep and had a bad dream. She dreamed she was a polar bear who lost her fur. She shivered and shook. When Katie woke up, her mom read her a story. It was about a girl with hair so long she could jump rope with it. Her dad sang her a happy song. Katie drew a picture of the flu bug flying away from her. Katie's mom brought her hot soup and toast. Ew, soup, Katie moaned. Ew, toast. I'm not hungry. Later, Jojo called Katie. I missed you today. Miss Winkle says it's not the same without you. Then Pedro called. He told Katie, when I broke my leg, everyone wrote funny things on my cast. Lucky you, said Katie. There is no cast with the flu. She drew a picture of everyone writing their names on her arms. That would tickle, Katie decided. So let's stop and think and write down all the details we noticed about the characters. Here are some ideas that Miss Anissa had. I noticed that Katie's parents are very caring because they did things to make Katie feel better, like playing her songs or bringing her food and reading her books. I also noticed that Jojo and Pedro are good friends because they called Katie when she was sick. These are some things I noticed, or some characteristics I noticed about our characters in this story. How Katie's parents are caring, and how Jojo and Pedro are good friends. Let's finish off with chapter 3. Feeling better. Katie took another little nap. When she woke up, she felt a lot better. Her mom brought her more soup and toast. Yay, soup, Katie said. Yay, toast. I'm starving. I'm feeling more like me, Katie said. It feels good to feel good. That night, Katie dreamed that her class sang a welcome back song to her. Miss Winkle played the tambourine and did a happy dance. A few days later, Katie went back to school. Her friends welcomed her with a song. Boo on the flu, they sang. We missed you. I did too, sang Miss Winkle. Katie sang back. I feel like a new Katie Woo. And it was true. Welcome back, Katie. So let's see what we noticed about our characters in this chapter, friends. I noticed that Katie learned that when she is sick, she has to take time to rest and feel better. So that's what I learned about chapter 3. What we did with Katie Woo Has the Flu is what you will do with your own books. You want to read about the characters and talk about what are some of the characteristics or qualities that we think these characters have based on how they are in the story. So now it is your turn. Remember to stop and think about all the things that you learn about the characters. All right? So you'll stop and think about all the things you learn about the characters in your stories. Happy reading, friends!